Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that is incredibly old. Well, very old. It's not incredibly old, but it is old. It's very, very rare and is incredibly collectible, especially in this mint sealed condition. We are looking at the 1992 release by Matchbox from their Gerry Anderson's Thunderbirds series of toys and playset. And this particular item we're looking at is of the Electronic Tracy Island playset, which include the electronic rocket sounds and voices. Now, as you know, Thunderbirds originally aired between 1964 and 1966, or was produced between 1964 and 66, airing originally from 65 through to 66, before it went on, and they produced two movies that went on to the big screen. However, 25 or so years later, the series returned to primetime TV, we'd say, but it wasn't on the prime channel, it was on BBC Two. But it did renew an awful lot of interest in the series, and consequently a whole new span of toys were produced by Matchbox. And Thunderbirds very, very quickly became one of the most popular television series, children's television series, again, as it was in the 1960s, as they showed the whole of the 32 episodes that were produced back in the 1960s. Now, obviously, there was lots of toys that was produced. The Matchbox produced quite a lot. However, in the run-up to Christmas in 1992, this playset became very, very difficult to find. Most of the retail, in fact, all of the retail sold out, and they were struggling to get any more stock in because the stock that was produced was limited in the UK. So consequently, a lot of children went without their Tracy Island playsets in the Christmas of 1992. It was actually nominated to be Toy of the Year for 1992, but it lost out to the Hasbro WWF figures due to the short supply of the playsets, because obviously it wasn't expected to do as well as it did. However, it did win the Toy of Award the following year in 1993. So a very, very good history on this particular toy, and yeah, literally a fantastic playset. Now, this is a box it comes in. Now, I'm not going to be able to open this one and show you inside, but I do have one on my own collection, which I will bring out shortly, and we can have a look at that one. But this is a box it comes in. It says Matchbox Thunderbirds Tracy Island Electronic Playset with electronic rocket sounds and voices. And you've got Thunderbird 3 Blast Off, Thunderbirds are Go. It says Thunderbird 1 Fab 1. Thunderbird 2 ready for launch, and it says electronic rocket sounds and pilots' voices, secret launch compartments, and packed with realistic detail and working features. Thunderbird 2 ready for launch, it says here, and vehicles sold separately. See side for contents. Batteries not included. Always use alkaline batteries. Do not use rechargeable batteries. Requires 3 times 1.5 volt AA batteries. Okay, that's the front of the box. We're just going to spin the box around and let's see what we got on the back. Okay, there we go. The back of the box. So the back of the box, again, it's got Thunderbirds Tracy Island electronic playset with electronic rocket sounds and voices. Got a Matchbox logo up here on the top left-hand corner. And it says Thunderbird 3 has its own secret launch compartment concealed under the roundhouse. On the side of the island is a cave to hide Thunderbird 4. Other features include a small jetty and steps up to the roundhouse. And it says slide back the swimming pool to reveal Thunderbird 1's secret launch pad hidden deep underground. It says a selection of 4 voices and sounds from the pilots and their craft. And open the hangar door and drive through Thunderbird 2. The palm trees automatically fold down to begin launch sequence. Tilt up launching ramp, open the blast shields, and Thunderbird 2 is clear to take off. It says, Tracy Island is the secret headquarters of international rescue brainchild of ex-astronaut Jeff Tracy. Located somewhere in the Pacific Ocean in the year 2063, this is the control centre for the Thunderbirds operations. Its highly advanced system of underground hangars and automated launch mechanisms ensures that Thunderbirds their secrecy from the enemy and success in international disaster situations. Okay, that's the back of the box. On the very bottom, you've got all the copyright and licensing information at the very bottom down there. Let's just drop the box down. And here we can see, again, it's got Matchbox, Thunderbirds, Tracy Island, electronic playset with electronic rocket sounds and voices. And there you can see the buttons on the back of the playset. You can see Thunderbird 1 coming out of the playset and Thunderbird 3 coming out of the hanger from beneath the round dome. And there you can see Thunderbird 1 is already out, Thunderbird 3 is about to take off, and Thunderbird 2 is also about to take off. Okay, that's the top. Let's have a look at the bottom. Okay, so the bottom of the playset, similar pictures, a little bit different. Again, it's got Matchbox, Thunderbird, Tracy Island, electronic playset with electronic rocket sounds and voices. You've got the same buttons there. Then you've got Thunderbird 4, who comes out of the back side there. And then you can see you've got the same pictures here, and you've got a zoomed in image of Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 4, and Thunderbird 1 just about to launch. Okay, that's the bottom of the box. I'm just going to turn the box to the end, and hopefully I can show you what we've got here. So this is the end of the box, and it says Matchbox Thunderbirds Tracy Island with electronic rocket sounds and voices, and you can see the playset being played with just there. And then at the bottom you've got other items in the same series, which was Thunderbirds Our Go Rescue set. You've got Thunderbird 2 and 4, and then you've got all the Thunderbird mini vehicles, which are all available separately as well. Okay, that's this end. I'm just going to turn the box around and see if it's the same on the other end. Okay, so it's a little bit different on this end. It's still the same Matchbox Thunderbirds Tracy Island electronic playset with electronic rocket sounds and voices. You've got the image of the playset, which is exactly what you get. That's the same images of the other items that are available. And then you've got all the licensing and product information at the bottom there. Okay, that is the end of the box. Okay, so as I said earlier, this particular item is still factory sealed. It's not been opened, nor can I open it, because obviously it's been factory sealed for probably one of the hardest to find Thunderbird play sets. I just can't open it, unfortunately. However, I do have one of these in my own private collection, which I will just go and get now, and we can have a look at that one, although it's not going to be in as pristine condition as this new one. But I'll go and get that one, and let's have a look at my version of this playset. At least that way I can still show you all the functionalities and exactly what it does. Okay, so this is the Tracy Island. This is exactly the same as the one that's in the sealed box. The only difference to this, obviously, this one's mine, and it's been in my display area for many, many years. So it's not as vibrant, the colours are not quite as vibrant as they would be in the brand new ones, but it's still in superb condition and in full working condition. Okay, so each of the models, this has got Thunderbird 3, and Thunderbird 3 sits inside the roundhouse. These, by the way, they just lift off. So they lift off and then just pop back on, so you can put your Thunderbird vehicles in them and then just pop them into position. And they've got lugs which locate the houses in the place. And the same with this one, which is a swimming pool. And I've got Thunderbird 1 in there as well. So I just pop, Thunderbird 1 down inside the hanger there, and then I just pop the swimming pool back in position. And you open the swimming pool just by moving the staircase there. That's how that opens, and obviously then the rest of it is all fixed into position. And down here you've got the hatch, or when you open the hatch up, you've got Thunderbird 2, which comes out of here, and the ramp lifts up, and the blast, you lift up the blast section there, and the ramp comes up, and Thunderbird 2 takes off. So the palm trees go down. As this one doesn't quite work very well because one of the palm trees broke, and we've glued it back into position. So because of that, they don't move down because they are locked in position here. So that's my one because I broke it. But anyway, so that is the front side of the playset. And so very simply, if you want to take off Thunderbird 3, you can just pick him up and pull him out of the playset, and then you can drop him back into the playset if you so wish. If you want to launch Thunderbird 1, well, quite simply, you open the swimming pool hatch and you pull out Thunderbird 1, and off he goes into rescue mode, and away he goes. And then for him to come back down again, you just pop him back inside the area and you close up the swimming pool. Thunderbird 2, Thunderbird 2, you push through from the other side, and as I showed you earlier, you lift the hatch up, lift up the ramp, and there's the ramp in position. Thunderbird 2 goes on there, and he blasts off up into the air like so. That's how Thunderbird 2 takes off, and we can lower that down. Okay, that's the front. Now I just want to turn it round to the other side so you can see what's happening at the back of all this. Okay, so I've turned the PlayStation, or the playset around I should say, and just over here you can see the buttons, the 4 buttons that we've got here. Now this is a slightly different version to the one that is still sealed in the box, because this is one I'm looking at here is version 2. My one is version 2. The one in the box is the original first version. So that is version 1. Now version 1 is obviously the most hardest one to find, because it was the one that was in very much short supply. So when they produced the next batch, they modified it slightly, whereas on the first one the buttons were on the outside here, and there wasn't this entranceway, and on the version 2 this entranceway was cut and the buttons were pushed inside. So these are the 4 buttons, so let's press the buttons and see what they sound like.
Thunderbird 1 FAB.
Okay, so that's Thunderbird 1 FAB, and it's the sounds of it as it takes off.
Thunderbird 2 ready for launch.
That's Thunderbird 2 ready for launch, and the launch sounds.
Thunderbird 3 blast off.
Thunderbird 3 blast off.
Thunderbirds are go.
And there we go, Thunderbirds are go. So that's the 4 sound effects that you get with the playset. Now, if I lift the playset up, you can see actually where you've got the runway here for Thunderbird 2. So if we put Thunderbird 2 in here, this is where she sits, and then she goes out when you lift up the door at the front entrance, which we saw earlier. So that is where Thunderbird 2 sits inside. You can see just in there where Thunderbird 1 is sitting below the swimming pool, and that section there where you can see just popping down is where Thunderbird 3 is sitting. Now there is a cave around this side, which is where you could launch your Thunderbird 4 from. In here there's a little cave area there, which is where Thunderbird 4 would pop out of, if you wanted to pull Thunderbird 4 out. That's up to you, but that was basically the playset. So if we just turn it back round the other way, if we lift up the launch pad again, and if we raise the pad up for Thunderbird 2 to go into takeoff mode, there we go, and we'll open the launch bay for Thunderbird 1, and Thunderbird 3. Okay, so let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see the whole lot again. And let's press the buttons. Let's get, if I can get my hand in there.
Thunderbird 1 FAB.
Thunderbird 1.
Thunderbird 2 ready for launch.
Yep, that's Thunderbird 2 launched.
Thunderbird 3 blast off.
And there goes Thunderbird 3. And then the final one is...
Thunderbirds are go.
Okay, so that's basically the playset. Now, how well did this playset do back in 1992? I hear you ask, but I think we've already answered that question, because obviously the return of Thunderbirds to mainstream TV sparked an awful lot of interest in 1992. And it forced all these production of toys. However, Matchbox, I think, completely underestimated the demand for the Tracy Island playset. They had produced the die-cast models that we've just seen here. So there was Thunderbird 3, there was Thunderbird 1, there was Thunderbird 2. All of those had already been produced by Matchbox. But everybody wanted the Tracy Island because that's the island and the home of international rescue. And obviously, even though it was expensive at the time, it was very much sought after. All the kids wanted it for Christmas. But unfortunately, the quantities just weren't there, and they wasn't able to produce enough, quickly enough, to get them into people's, into the shops, into the retailers before Christmas. As a result, a lot of kids went without their Tracy Island playset at Christmas 1992. Although Blue Peter did actually show you how to build your own Tracy Island out of boxes and toilet rolls. You could make your own one, which I must admit, when they did it, it did look very good, but it was obviously, it's only cardboard, and it wouldn't last as long, and there's well, no electronics on it, so it's not as good as the Matchbox one, obviously. But it was there for you to make do with until stock arrived. Now, stock did come back in the following year, and it did, again, it sold very, very well in 1993. And as I said earlier, it actually won the Toy of the Year award in 1993. Didn't win it the previous year, but it should have done, and it would have done if there was enough volume there to supply the market. But because there wasn't, it lost out to the Hasbro WWF figures, which won the Toy of the Year award in 92. But the Thunderbirds playset did win it the following year in 1993. So yes, it done remarkably well. Version 1 though, the one that we got sealed in the box, I mean, that is the hardest of all to find. And that really is simply because it literally sold out so quickly, and they had to, well, they had to make them again. So, but the obviously the striking thing, the back of the model here, there was no cutaway inside where the buttons are on version 1, but on version 2, which is what I've got up here, it does have that. So that's just the difference at the back. Otherwise, the buttons make the same sounds, the same noises, but you've got a little bit more action where you can get inside of the playset at the back, as we saw, and maybe we can see it a little bit easier. So there we go. So you can actually see the whole of the internal side there of the playset, and the entrance to the exit there to where Thunderbird 2 would come out, and the hangar for Thunderbird 1 and Thunderbird 3, and around this side you've got the the cave where Thunderbird 4 would come out, which is also on this one. Thunderbird 4 cave was on that one, but this section wasn't. So that was all closed off, and the buttons was pretty much on the outside there. And when they done version 2, this is what they did. They opened it up, moved it inside, so you had a little bit more play area on the inside. So yes, done remarkably well. But there we are. That's Thunderbirds. And Thunderbirds was, again, become one of the most popular kids' television series on TV in the 90s. It was huge again, just as it was in the 60s for us when we were kids. So it was absolutely massive again and done remarkably well. So obviously the toys are in such demand. So let's move forward then to 2024, almost 2025, which is where we are today. So we're moving forward 33, almost 34 years since this particular set was released. Do they come up for sale very often on the platforms? Version 1? No. You hardly ever see this version 1 come up for sale on the platforms. Quite simply, as we say, because it is the first version, it just doesn't happen. You do see version 2s come up. You never see them sealed, though. They've always been opened and used and played with or displayed. Yeah, you don't see them. It's very, very rarely you will ever find one that is sealed. Fortunately for us, though, we do have this version 1 Thunderbird playset, which is still factory sealed. We only have the one. We were fortunate enough to buy out a load of stock from a closed down shop, and this was in their stock room. They didn't even know it was there. It was piled on the top of a shelf behind a load of other boxes, and they didn't know it was there, quite simply. Otherwise they would have sold it back in 1992 if they had known that it was still there. Or maybe they kept it there for somebody, I don't know. And maybe that somebody never come and picked it up and it got forgotten. I don't know, but it was sitting on the shelf. There was a cardboard box over the top of it, so you couldn't actually see it, but it was sitting on the top shelf in the stock room. I saw it when we went to offer them or to negotiate the sale of their stock, and I thought, wow, yeah, that's something special. So we were fortunate to buy all that stock, and this was amongst it, and it is a very, very special item. As I say, we only have the one version 1 Tracy Island playset available, but it is available to purchase on the Minus Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many, many other vintage Gerry Anderson items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something that you will not want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you're never been able to find, something quirky that you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful Tracy Island playset with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.